It's not this way. You don't have to be this way or that way. Look at the third way. What is the unity way? How do you stand in the eye of the storm and observe and make a decision without judgment? Um, it's all about, there's no such thing as judgment. I mean, we have to learn how to just think of it. There's no wrong way, there's no right way. People just do it their own way, and it's okay. And it's okay. They don't have to see it your way, do it your way. They don't have to believe everything you say or do everything you say. You know what I mean? So as a teacher, I always tell people, I'm going to tell you exactly what I know. I'm going to share with you everything I know, and I'm going to channel from my guides and angels. And if it resonates with your heart and you feel that in your heart, then you keep it.
Hello, everyone. This is Kathy Mason from MasonWorks Marketing here on For Soul Illumination, the new show that gives you so much insight into how to work with your soul and to expand your consciousness. So today I'm here with Bonnie Burd. Hi, Bonnie.
Hi.
I'm so glad to be here with you.
Yeah, I'm happy to.
So Bonnie and I met off of Facebook, really. And
Yeah.
I've just been so happy to know her. Her work is just beautiful, so heart-centered. And she has so many talents that we're going to talk about today that could help you during these changing times. She's a certified wellness practitioner. And she is a life coach, a Reiki master, and a teacher. She does spiritual channeling. We were just talking about light language. And so I'm going to just let you explain a little bit, Bonnie, if you would, about your journey to opening up to these other aspects of yourself that are from the divine. If you could share a little bit about that so people get to know, like, and love you.
Sure. So, I guess when I came in to this life, that I felt I was in the wrong family because I was just, I don't know, I just was an odd kid, and I just came in wide open. All of my gifts were open, and Yahshua was with me all the time. And I always thought that everybody talked to him the way I did, like I would go to sleep at night and ask questions. And whenever there was someone who was upset, I would always say, Jesus will help you. He loves you, and he'll help you heal. And I didn't, my parents were really confused by that because no one really told me those things, because when I was little, my parents weren't in church yet. And so I would get in trouble for saying things like, like talking to adults and saying things like, I see that you're upset, but Jesus will help you heal. And my mom would say, don't do that, because they think that children shouldn't talk to them about whatever is going on. And so, and then after that, because I was a medium and I had gifts with spirit, I would go, like if you ever seen Sixth Sense, it was like that. I'd be sleeping at night and somebody would show up. And at first I would be with Yahshua and it would be okay. I wasn't afraid. It was like he was teaching how to help them ascend, how to help them heal. But then I started getting afraid because, my brother and other kids would talk about how scary ghosts were and how you shouldn't talk to them and how you shouldn't do that, you shouldn't do this. And so it would scare me. And so I got afraid of it. So then I felt like they were nightmares. And when I would tell my parents about it, they would just say that there's nobody here. You're fine. Go back to bed and everything will be okay. But it wasn't, because I could hear, sense, feel everything. And so eventually I just prayed for it to stop. I was so afraid. I was like 8 years old. And I said, please help make it stop. And so it did, which then made me really sad because I felt that disconnect and I no longer could hear Yahshua as easy as I could before. And it felt like he was distant. And so it was really hard. And so then I went on a journey of relearning everything when I got older. When I was like 16, I went right back into learning about the angels. I started collecting angels and I really loved them. And then before I knew it, my gifts started to come back in. And then as they started to come in, then I got really interested in, in psychics and how it worked. And, I was awakening. And so I began on this journey of relearning what I came in with, and then I started to remember, oh, I used to do this. I used to do that. And I don't know why it's so hard now. And so then I got into meditation and I started to learn Reiki and I started to learn all these different modalities. I worked with jewelry and energy and crystals and learning how to use frequency and meditation. I teach meditation classes and I also teach Reiki now. And so as I went along on my journey, I started to learn these things. And what had happened was, as I got older, my parents, my father he was a preacher, so he would see things night and day. And so it was really hard. He would always ask, he was always after me to go word for word what the Bible said and not to deviate from that. And so finally, in the end, my father was 80. He was 80. He finally said to me, you know what? When I pass, can you promise me you'll be where I'm at? You will come and we'll be together. And I said, I can absolutely promise you without a doubt. I said, I have a relationship with Jesus. He knows the way. And, and he said, well, then I'm going to stop worrying about you. I'm just going to be okay now. And then, he died maybe 2 or 3 years later. And so that's when I was going through a really bad depression because he had passed. And I was meditating every day and I was asking for help to help get over the grievance. And I had a crystal on my forehead when I was meditating, and I felt a zap. I was like, "What was that?" And I sat up, and I was like, they really confused me, and I was like, "Well, whatever it was, I don't know." And so then all of my gifts, my vision, all of this, all that stuff started slowly creeping back in. And then it was like not long after that, I was awakened in the middle of the night. Um, and I heard this booming voice, and he said, write this stuff down. He said, make this list and write it down. And I sat up, because I recognized the voice, but I didn't know. I just grabbed the pen and paper and I started writing. And it was one right after another. It was how to master your own energy and how to become to ascend and to awaken into who you truly are and remembering who you are. And I kept and he was saying bring it down to the common man and woman and be simple, don't get all technical and all. And he also said that you'll be able to adjust it from the new awakened to the advanced. And I was like, and he was telling me that something's gonna happen and you're gonna move from this house. And he said it'll be a disaster, and after that happens, you're gonna move. And I thought, what's gonna happen? Is there gonna be a tornado? What's gonna happen? And what happened was the sewage backed up into the house, and it was so expensive and to repair, and the insurance companies was fighting us, and it was just such a mess that we decided to move across the street and take care of my mom and just let that house go because it was a money pit. And so he said, you're going to live there for a while and practice for a while, and I want you to work on this called flow of life energy. and learning how to use ignite quantum techniques. And so I came and I started researching and putting things together. I asked Jesus, what order should it go in? And he's like, well, how did you learn? How did you ascend? How did you begin? And keep it simple. He kept saying that over and over, keep it simple. And so I put it all together. And so now that's what I do. I offer that. And that's how I all came into who I am and where I'm at and what I'm doing now, because they also taught me how to work with the Akashic records. I learned light language. I learned how to help others learn it, how to help others open up to the gifts and to learn what their gifts are. And it's all about remembering who you are and bringing yourself to the level of remembrance and being able to understand frequency and quantum healing. And so that's what I do.
That's perfect. Well, the other thing that I want everyone to know about is that you do have a show like my show, and
Yeah.
and you've had amazing people on it. And I recognized your energy right away. I mean, there's people that are doing things almost as women that are competitive, and then there's co-creators that there's no comparison. There's just appreciation for each person's gifts because we're so different. Just our expression of our gifts are so different. But the other thing I noticed about you was, number one, that very gifted, but also working out of a not fearful place. So that competition or that yeah, I guess that competition is the only word I can think of for it, but it's more about shining the light of love on everything. And that's the way I see your work and you, that it's an upliftment, but it is not in judgment at all. There's no for instance, you saying make it easy so the advanced person will benefit as well. There's no judgment in that at all.
Yeah, no, none whatsoever. It's all about finding the third way, because instead of being this way, if there's a discussion, it's not this way. You don't have to be this way or that way. Look at the third way. What is the unity way? How do you stand in the eye of the storm and observe and make a decision without judgment? It's all about, there's no such thing as judgment. I mean, we have to learn how to just think of it. There's no wrong way, there's no right way. People just do it their own way, and it's okay. And it's okay. They don't have to see it your way, do it your way. They don't have to believe everything you say or do everything you say. You know what I mean? So as a teacher, I always tell people, I'm going to tell you exactly what I know. I'm going to share with you everything I know, and I'm going to channel from my guides and angels. And if it resonates with your heart and you feel that in your heart, then you keep it. And if it doesn't, throw it out. It's not for you. Don't worry. And I always say, I don't know everything, and I'm going to be learning. I'm going to take my first, I took my first breath learning here, and I'll take my last going. I forgot to learn that.
Well, okay. So the next question I have, this perfect. Thank you so much for this conversation. I think it's really valuable. There's lots of people that are starting to see that they can be empowered to make other decisions for themselves. They can get out of the program of your mom, your wife, have your work, whatever it is that we've given ourselves these categories or programs that we run, and we can never live up to them. We're never enough. It's run. And the work that you're doing allows people to stop, take a breath, and then reassess what's going on without anger. Because I think what's happening, what the opportunity is now is after the lockdown and everything, people are starting to really wonder if it makes them feel good. It's not selfish to love yourself enough to choose better for yourself. But the programs as a woman, the programs are pretty
Really
like,
hard.
where's my superwoman's cape?
Exactly.
Laundry, food, kids, grandkids now, all of that. So
Exactly.
could you talk a little bit about that? Because you are in that environment where you are still supporting other people in your family and doing all this, but you're also figured out a way to balance your time enough so that you could actually find you and be the light that you are. Could you talk about that?
Sure. It's this program that I'm teaching is all about that. It's like you learn how to let go of all of the programming from your family. I mean, because the minute the seed is planted in the mother, whatever her emotions are, whatever her DNA is, whatever she's feeling, it all is infused into your systems. So you're programmed before you ever come out of the womb. And then once you're out, everything you hear, see, sense for the first 3 to 6 years, you're taking that in and you're taking it in as truth. And so, what this is all about is deprogramming all of those things that you have learned and realizing what the truth is. What the real truth is that we are here to heal thyself. That's what Yahshua tells me. We heal thyself. And by healing yourself, you are becoming one with the collective, and then that's how we raise together. And so that's what it's all about, is finding that balance, finding that love for yourself, because you deserve love just as much as anyone else, showing yourself love and compassion, and doing all the work to release, because we're not only releasing, because that's the reason why they call it quantum. We're not just releasing this person in this lifetime, it's every aspect you ever were on this earth and everywhere else. We're healing that. Whatever you have, what filters you've had from all those lifetimes, we're healing all of that. And so everything that you heal here, it's all connected like the roots of a tree. And so you heal something here, and then it goes out to all the aspects, and you help them raise. And the other way around, because they're working and they're doing the same thing. And so that's what it's about, is to actually find the truth and release the old programming and remember. It's all about remembrance, remembering who you are, what gifts you hold, what's your power, opening up gifts, activating gifts, looking into the family, letting go of old family all the way up through your lineage on mother and father's side, releasing all that, doing all the inner child work, releasing all the damaged children within your lifetimes, because just working with the one in this lifetime will help you, but you also have children in all of your other lifetimes. And so it's like all this work to bring yourself into what you truly are, just remembering who you are. It's just taking away layers of false identity, and then finally being able to look in the mirror and say, oh my gosh, I am love. I am. That's what I'm here for. And that's what I do. And I
That's
wish
so
Yasha was.
beautiful. That's so I think that is I know for myself, I remember one of the times doing a process like this, and just realizing that I didn't feel worthy. I mean, where you finally, you can make all the sense you want out of it, but then when you really go deep into your heart, going, who am I to say that I'm God, or that I'm a piece of God? Who am I to say I'm source? And then if you start to work through that, there's a lot of times a lot of tears, a lot of opening for those releases to come out, because whose voice is that even saying you're not worthy? That might not even be my voice.
No, that's all your children. That's all your inner children. saying that. And that's why it's so important to do the inner children work. And I can tell you one example of when I first started speaking light language. At first, I was scared to death to do it in public. I would, just wouldn't do it. And then I started going because I do talk shows and I was on other people's shows, and so I started doing it in public. And I woke up to this voice yelling at me, telling me you're this is dangerous. You shouldn't be doing this. You should not be doing this in public. Blah 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 blah. And I was like, what is this? I couldn't understand it. And so I asked one of my friends who was a healer to help me figure out who was speaking to me. And it was one of my inner children. She was like very upset because she had passed in another lifetime for doing the very thing that I was doing. And she was like, you're going to die. It's going to happen to you. This is bad. This is bad. And so it scared me, but I also knew that there was a reason. I needed to find out what it was. And so one of my friends helped me figure that out. And so, yeah, this work is so important, so important. There's so many children that just need to be brought back into the love and healed from whatever happened to them. And for them to realize that, it's not about, we are in a different age and we're in a different time. And it is about love and unity. And that's what we're doing right now in this day and time.
Wow. Well, I've heard of other people helping people with inner child, but not inner children before. So, have you experienced, I mean, how many lifetimes can you work on in one session, or is this a progression of sessions to get to that, to the root of those issues?
So I also do Akashic Record reads, and when I do those, what will happen is we'll have a conversation and we'll talk about whatever's been holding you back and whatever you feel that's a problem or what filter you can't seem to let go of. And then what my guides have taught me, Yashua and all my guides, is that we go into the seed of where it was planted, whatever lifetime it was. We go to the seed where it was planted, and then we see the lifetime. We heal it. We heal everybody involved. We do forgiveness. We retrieve our soul. We send back their soul healed and cleansed, and then we raise the timeline to the highest timeline level. And so when we do that, it is as if it has never happened. You'll see what would have happened if they were healed. And then after that, they explained to me it's like a roots of a tree. Every lifetime that energy was connected to is healed and released, because we also do contract releases in all directions in time. So they're all released. So your life, this life, changes drastically because you raise as all the other timelines raise from that one healing.
Wow, that is cool. So, but when you've done that, is it taken multiple sessions to get to that, or is it kind of instant, the core issue? I mean, they say that things are like an onion and you unpeel each layer, but I don't think that's true anymore. I think now you can go straight to it, but I'm just wondering how disorienting that can be.
Well, what happens is the reason why they call it quantum healing is, it was my guides that told me to call it Ignite Quantum Healing along with the Flow of Life Energy. And the reason why they call it quantum healing is because it uses frequency and, because I use light language and frequency in that way, and regression to take you where you need to be and all that. And you do go through a little bit of a healing. It's a big clearing. And so you have to be gentle with yourself after doing one of these sessions, but it's not one and done, because they call it therapy, because even though you healed that one energy, you've got all different kinds of seeds that are planted all along your fields that you need to heal with. You might have addiction, you might have whatever it is. And so what they tell me is, because it's so intense, is to let them come to you when they're ready. allow them to work with their guides and angels, because what happens once they do one of those sessions with me, they will they teach them how to do it during the session I'm in with them, and then they'll come to them at night with their permission. I have to ask for their permission, and they will keep going through records and helping them clear out more. And then when they feel stuck and they feel like they need help, that's when they come back to me to do the Akashic read. And so that's kind of how it works. And so that's why, like, I'm not somebody who says, we're going to work with you today and then make next month we'll do it again, because we're not supposed to do that. We're supposed to wait until you're ready. But that's a part of the program with flow of life energy.
Oh,
It's,
okay.
it's part of the tools that
Okay.
are there in it.
So your flow, you've alluded to the flow of life energy process and program. Could you share a little bit more about the program so people could understand what the offering is, how many weeks it is, if it's done in group or in one-on-one? Could you share a little more about that for us, please?
This is where Yeshua makes it simple for everybody. He brings everything down to simple. So it's all about learning what energy is, how it works with the human body, how it works outside of you, how you interact with it, and then learning all the tools to help you. Once you know what energy is and how it works with frequency, then you start going into learning how you start learning different tools about meditation, about chakras, about the human body, about your light bodies, and you go, and then you move into, you move into more like I teach meditation, how to do it for yourself, and how to do self-healing. We learn how to we do the Akashic Record stuff, and then we do the inner child stuff. We learn how word is magic, how your thoughts and your words create your reality. We go into that. Gosh, it just goes on and on forever. I mean, there's so many things that you learn, but it's everything that you need to learn to become a master of your own energy. And so, what it is you can you can do it once a week. It's up to the person, because they want them to be able to afford it, and they want to go at their own rate. Same thing with healings, how it is with my guides are the same way with this. So they can do it once a week, but if they want to do it once a month, or if they want to get a group together and do it with a group, then I can do it in a group, or we can do one-on-one. And so some people pick every two weeks, or once a month, or once a week. It's just whatever the person feels comfortable with. And that's just how, and there's no specific, there's a book this thick that we're working through, and I take you whatever it takes for that hour and a half, wherever you are comprehending and you're being able to do, I take you that far. So everybody is always in different places. So it's like, I don't have a set. Yahshua didn't want me to make a set agenda. He wanted me to take it to the masses and have them learn it at their own rate and pace, and not to push. And so if you have someone who's new awakening, of course it's going to be slower. But if you have someone who's been doing the work for a long time, it moves to their
customized.
Yeah, it customizes to the person.
Well, so right now what we're finding is that there's a lot of people waking up. And in my experience, a lot of people's first steps, if they haven't been on this path for 20 years, is they're becoming empathic, and they're becoming aware of other people's emotional fields and the energy around them. Are you seeing that too? I'm seeing it a lot. I don't know if you're seeing that too. And then is there lots of things for people that are empathic or are highly sensitive and they weren't before? That's pretty intense knowledge. Could you speak to that a little bit?
Yeah, definitely. The it's even part of the program because learning about your work environment and how to not navigate yourself through everybody else's emotions and feelings, and being in a public place, learning that that's all about your energy, learning what your energy is, what their energy is, how to keep your energy clear. We learn different tools and tips how to keep a clear it's energy upkeep. Every day you do this, and every day you make sure that before you go into the work you do this. So it's all about, and it brings in manifestation tools, because you're learning how to make your world the world that you actually want to live in. And so together we create, and I've not done this class with anyone that hasn't changed their whole world um, by the end of it. They just it's just such an amazing journey to take with someone.
Oh,
And so,
that's so
yeah.
fantastic. And right now, as we're watching, the outside world seems so chaotic and so combative and so polarized, that this is the perfect time, because you'll be able to see a bigger picture of what your choices are, rather than, I mean, right now, the media would like you to think it's this or that. And as you said, that walking that center line, or 0 point, going to 0 point. And it isn't just it isn't about not being sensitive. It's about using a bigger perspective in decision making. And I really feel that decision making, creative problem solving, is going to be one of our most important skills that we need going forward in these times, with the earth changes and ETs, all of the choices that are going to be apparent to us without interference. I don't think disclosure is going to happen through the government. I think disclosure is happening with us.
Yeah.
But if you're fearful about that, then you need tools.
Yeah. And you have to learn with the more you learn about who you are, and the more you remember who you are, you realize that you are so powerful, and you're so amazing, and you're so blessed to be in this body, and to be able to be in this time frame, for sure, with the ascension and all that there's nothing to fear. Nothing can harm you. Nothing. And when you begin to realize that a fear is just an emotion that is brought on by filters that aren't real. It's not real. And you start seeing the truth of everything, and observing from the heart, from love. And when you speak from the heart, that you just start creating such a beautiful world around you, that what is fear? You don't even need it anymore. you know?
Well, that's what I really think it's reality crafting. Once you get to a different perspective, like I like to say, I'm lucky. And then all of a sudden I find 10 cents on the ground, or I am lucky. So, I mean, you're bringing in those perspectives. You're setting the stage. You don't know you are. And a lot of people get together and complain. I mean, that's what this time period is. People that want change versus the people who like the way it's been, because they've benefited, but we're out of order. We're out of divine order. So it has to change. And as long as people have a different worldview, they'll come up with beautiful ways to navigate these changes.
Mhm. And well, a lot of it is not that you don't care, and it's not that you don't care, or
Right.
that you don't have feelings about whatever's happening, but if you take yourself into the still point of the heart and you observe, and it's like there's a storm going on around you and you're just observing, and then as you watch, you can send love, you can send healing energy. When you're the most powerful, when you're in the love, when you are in the I am, that's the most powerful thing you can do. And so you're doing something about it. You just don't have to get into the conversation and be angry and be upset, because when you're in the conversation, you're stepping into the storm and you're letting more garbage to fling around in that energy, and you don't want to be a part of that. And so just observing from the higher perspective is what you need to do without judgment. It is what it is. That's the hardest thing I had to learn going through all this process is it is what it is. And
Yeah.
it's not a big deal. They don't have to agree with me. They can do their own way. It's okay.
Yeah, right. Well, and it is, we're all divine pieces of God. So every one of us, before we embodied, we stood in line to get these bodies, and then we chose the trip that we would be on. We have some variables that we can take the long way or the short way, but but in general, every person, when they say namaste, it's true. Every single being here won the lottery. So for us to think that our way's the only way, that's a fear response, right? So
Absolutely.
yeah. So
There's many ways to get to the same spot.
right.
You don't have to, like, just like there's so many teachers, there's ascension teachers out everywhere, and the students will come to you that have that same energy or that same focus, and their guides are guiding them to the people they need to get with. And so that's what I like about what you talked about earlier. It's not a competition. There's so many people out there that need help, and there's not enough light workers and teachers out here.
Right.
And so
Right.
so we just have to be and allow spirit to bring the people that need whatever it is we're offering. And it's okay. I mean, you don't have to be um, as popular as everyone else and be all over, everybody knows your name. You don't have to be that, because as long as you're helping one person, you're doing what you came here to
That's
do.
right. That's
And
beautiful.
that one person could just be you. You're healing yourself and
Right.
doing.
Isn't that cool? That's so cool. So Bonnie, before we came on, I mentioned something about you possibly sharing some light language with us. Would you be willing to do that for a little while?
Sure, I can do that.
Cool. Thank
All
you.
right.
Thank you. Thank you.
So I will just ask, I'm going to ask my guides and angels to send some beautiful energy to help wherever you're at, to help you heal whatever you need to heal and whatever you need to move forward. And so we're just going to close our eyes and we're going to take a deep breath. Just settle down into your energy. Just breathe that energy all the way down to the ends of your toes, all the way into the mother's heart, into the earth. And then we're going to bring that energy back up, all the way up through our crown, connecting to Mother, Father, God. And just take another deep breath. Bring it back into your heart. We invite all the archangels of light, all the masters of light to hold sacred space for this transmission of love and light. And we ask and intend that whatever energy that a person watching this in the future needs to heal, needs to move forward, comes through in this transmission. Take a deep breath. To ora pikani atra itiri ishtiko futu ora pikite itiri ishtike ena atara ora pikayana na yatare pikayana taraliata. Iseri atara ora bakora bakori yata. Ikiri atara uturo umi atara itiri uturo pikaya. Look within the heart to uturo uturo pikaya nayana. For this is where the energy of love is. To ora pikaya niyata. Isiani atara uturo pikuyana. Open the heart to love. To otoro otoro karayata. Know in your heart of hearts that is what you are. We are born of love. The original energy is love. Allow it to flow through your veins. Just take a deep breath as God sends this beautiful wave of purification and love all the way through every system, every cell, all the way down to the ends of your toes, throughout all your light bodies. Take another deep breath. Let it flow all the way down, feeling yourself expand. Tu urpikayaniatra ikemiata, saumukota pikayanatareyata, ishamiatra itri iata. I am that I am. Tu urpikayanayata, si imiuturumiatra. I am the child of love. Tu utrupikayaniatra uturupukurumiatra. We walk the path to utrupikayanayatra itri upukumiatra. In the love and in the light, to show others where to look, to see the love of God within their heart, to know that it's in everybody's heart and soul. Know that it's your God-given gift to be loved and be loved. Receive the love of God. For it is all that is. Take a deep breath. Allow your body to expand. This beautiful river of life is running through every system, every cell, through the blood and bones, all the way through the organs, throughout all of your light bodies. Any gifts that you're ready for in this now moment is opening up to the light, opening up like the flowers of a rose. Beautiful rose petals are now dropping in celebration. Smell the fragrance of love. Know that you are love. I am that I am. I am that I am. I leave you with this. We are love. And so it is. So go ahead and bring your consciousness back into your body. Take a deep breath. Breathe this beautiful red energy grounding you in. And when you're ready, wiggle your fingers and toes and open your eyes. How's everybody feeling? I know I'm giggly. That energy just is so loving.
Beautiful. And I almost feel like there's hands on my ankles, grounding me, like a loving, not like cuffs, but like just bringing
Just
me
kind of
into
bringing you gently down.
beautiful.
Yeah, because I could stay there forever and never come back.
Oh,
You got to come back. We're not, what that state of mind is what we're striving for, to be grounded and connected to God's heart and to be able to walk this earth in that energy. And it's a blessing that we can reach that level in meditation and channeling God's love. And eventually that'll be a permanent state. That's what we're here to do.
yes. Oh, it's wonderful. Thank you so much. So, Bonnie, how's the best way for everyone to follow up with you and to get to know your work better?
So you can email me at ignitequantumhealing@gmail.com. Also, Ignite Quantum Healing, I have a Facebook page. You can find me on there. And then also on my Facebook page is my Wix, my account for, that tells you all the things that I offer and stuff like that. So I'm still floating. My brain's
I know, I'm sorry to make you do that right
I'm
afterwards.
still I'm thinking, what is it called? My bio.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I'll have it all in the description. So don't worry about it. But I just wanted to give a chance to make sure that people, when they resonate with this and they see you as their teacher, that they'll be easily able to find you and just keep following Bonnie. You'll see the interviews she does and the work that she does with other people. Everyone just adores working with her because of this loving presence and this purpose for the divine. It's truly palpable. So thank you so much, dear. Thank you. And this was for Soul Illumination. I'm sure that illuminated. It was
Definitely.
great.
It was a blessing to be here. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.